Hello, good afternoon, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode. And today we will be doing a small preview for the Reggae Boys versus Grenada game that is scheduled to take place tomorrow. First and foremost, big shout out to all the viewers, big shout out to all the subscribers, to the sponsors, Quick Link Shipping. Anything you need whatsoever shipped into the island, Quick Link Shipping has you covered. Now, we talk about football week in, week out, and there are a number of things that continue to recur no matter how we try to escape it, right? So big up to all the Reggae Boys vloggers, all the Reggae Boys YouTubers. You're the ones who keep it going. You're the ones who keep people interested. You are the ones who keep people enticed. And seeing new faces coming into the Reggae Boys setup and basically getting an opportunity to know these players is quite commendable. So big shout out to Simon Preston and the team over there who keep on putting in the good work. Again, it's stuff like these that keep people interested and make you want to actually go out and support the Reggae Boys. And I think a couple of days ago, there was a prominent member of the Jamaica football fraternity who came out and interviewed on local news and basically stated that people aren't interested in going out and supporting the boys because, quite frankly, they don't know the boys. And we see a number of international players, well, overseas-based players coming in and representing the Reggae Boys, and 9 out of 10 times the locals, they do not know these players. And that was one of the arguments that was made, that people don't go out and support the players because they don't know them. Youngster coming in, Karai, Simon did an interview with him as well. The situation with Cephas is just heart-wrenching. And we'll go through the squad. I think Heimer Hallgrimson, he gave his press conference a couple of days ago, and he was asked continuously about the omission of Dujon Whisper Richards. Fast forward to a couple of days later, and Dujon Whisper Richards is among the players in the national team. Now, also Mikel Antonio, who it was widely broadcasted that he would not be a part of this Reggae Boys camp. It has been confirmed that he won't be available for the first game, which is against Grenada, but he will in fact be available for the second game against Haiti. So again, when we talk about commitment and overseas-based players or English-based players, a lot of these players are doing all they can really to make themselves available to represent the national team. And I'll delve away from the Reggae Boy situation and speak a little bit about Cairo Mitoma, for example, who we saw he's been playing midweek. He's been playing on average 88, 89 minutes for Brighton this year. And when invited to the Japan national team a couple of days ago, he basically opted out. He basically chose to stay in England with his team. So a lot of these players, they can choose to stay with their team. And I'll also speak about the Mason Greenwood situation, because I think I haven't gotten an opportunity to express my 2 cents on it. Big up yourself, Elite Sports. And as I said, big shout out to all the Reggae Boys YouTubers. You're the ones who keep people interested. And I think over time, folks are paying attention to their club teams. They're more interested in what's happening in club football than what's happening in international football. And because of the controversy that generally comes with international football, people try to stay away from that. But it's good to see a lot of the Reggae Boys, YouTubers and vloggers, coaches, Des, IMAX, Elite Sports, Reggae Boys commentary, keeping the information flowing and keeping fans interested in what's happening with Jamaican football, right? So it's one of those situations. But as I said, a lot of these players, they want to come out and they want to represent the national team. Coach Jaime Hargreaves was asked about Mason Greenwood, and he said he wants to make the best 11 available to represent the national team at any given point. And he didn't speak much about the controversy surrounding Mason Greenwood. But what we know is Mason Greenwood is a quality player, got on the score sheet over the weekend as well. I think it's one of those situations, kind of too much. It's one of those situations where the controversy is there, but the Jamaican people will be looking into, because personally, I don't think Mason Greenwood has not even a remote chance of ever representing England again. Right, so that chance isn't. It's basically non-existent at this point. So I think the only option for Mason Greenwood, if he plans on playing international football, is representing Jamaica. But that's my opinion, right? If some players opt not to play international football, full stop. And we saw in that interview that Troy Deeney gave, I think a couple of years ago now, but the interview was made public. Or did he? I think it's a couple of months ago, if I'm to be honest. But the interview surfaced a couple of weeks ago where people saw that he basically had never been to Jamaica, had a plan to come to Jamaica with his family, didn't work out that way. And as such, in the end, he needed some convincing to represent Jamaica. And the individual who we sent was Winfried Schaefer, and that didn't work out too well. All right, so I think there are a lot of things happening with the Jamaica Football Federation right now. But as you know, Halftime TV, we don't really do the mix-up. So I'm just here to present on the footballing aspect of it. I don't want to delve too much in anything outside of football, all right? Because that's what we do. We provide sporting opinions. So we try to keep it strictly confined to the sport. All right, so this is the original squad that was announced. All right, we have Andre Blake, Kamara Foster, Jamali Waite, Javane Brown, Tavon Gray, Deshaun Bernard, Dexter Lembikisa, Damian Lowe, Michael Hector, Greg Lee, Adrian Mariappa, Bobby D. Cordova, Reed Daniel Johnson, Joel Latibodier, Kevin Lambert, Karai Anderson, Demario Phillips, Mikel Antonio, Shamar Nicholson, Leon Bailey, Romario Williams, Ronaldo Cephas, and Demari Gray. All right, so I hope everyone got that. Jamaica has not lost to Grenada since 2008, and this was the only time that we lost to Grenada, and we've been and this is from 1997 to now. Right, we've only lost to them once, 2008, and that was a 2-1 defeat in favor of Grenada. Now, these are the updates that were subsequently provided to the press or to those who follow the Reggae Boys. So Dujon Whisper Richards called up to the Reggae Boy setup for the upcoming game against Grenada and Haiti. Javane Brown is out due to injury. Adrian Mariappa is out due to personal reasons. And Ronaldo Cephas is out due to flight challenges. All right. Last night on the news, it was reported that Cephas, his situation was basically he was supposed to travel from Turkey to the Caribbean business class, and it was reported that the flight was too expensive. That's what was reported. All right. However, there are conflicting reports coming out indicating that that's not the case, etc. It was also indicated that in the previous international window, Cephas didn't receive his flight information until an hour before the flight. So it's stuff like these, and we constantly have this lack of organization when it comes down to getting the players in. And Coach Hallgrimson, he mentioned that he wanted a core set of players that he was going to build around, and each window we were going to bring in 1 or 2 players to basically see what they can offer to the setup, something different to the national team. I think going into this Grenada game, and if we look through the Grenada squad, a lot of those players, they play their football in England for QPR, as a matter of fact. So it's basically a quarter of the team plays for QPR. So a lot of them traveling from England, traveling to the Caribbean to play against Jamaica. But as was the case with the Haiti game, where we went into it expecting that we would win, I think there's a lot of complacency, especially with the Jamaica Football Federation in this one. They're like, we're playing against Grenada. We already have a set of players who we think we can win this game with. And as such, some of the players we don't need to go out on a limb to get. And that's my opinion. And that shouldn't be the case, because I think the coach requests a number of players. The necessary arrangements should be made to ensure that those players are available. I know there are a number of persons that are traveling with the team that, quite frankly, don't need to be there. And I'll leave it to my colleagues to report more on. So I'll leave it to my colleagues to report more on it. But it's one of those situations where I don't know how to feel about it, because it's been happening too often now, and we don't really look forward to international breaks anymore, especially as Reggae Boys fans. We're excited to see the likes of Whisper We're excited to see the likes of Leon Bailey and Di Cordova Reed and all these big players, Mikel Antonio. We want to see them. But the drama that comes with the Jamaica Football Federation, it's not something that we're too pumped up about. And I think the General Secretary, big friend of Elite Sports TV, well, a former friend, I don't know what the situation is, but we used to hear a lot from the General Secretary, Dennis Strong, over on Elite Sports. We're not seeing him anymore, so hopefully Elite Sports can get him on to do some more interviews, because since the controversy that transpired a couple of months ago, we haven't really seen him come out and give too much interviews with the YouTubers. I think he's been sitting behind a desk and providing feedback from there. I think TVJ News, Sportsmax, these are the entities who can get in touch with him. But going into the game against Grenada, again, we're trying to keep it to the football. Going into the game against Grenada, I think Jamaica and the Reggae Boys, they have enough to come away victorious in this game. The game against Haiti, it's the same. We have the quality. It's just for us to execute it on the field of play. The midfield was our weak point, and when asked about it in the interview, Coach Hallgrims indicated that we can't be dominant in all aspects of the field. I guess he was basically saying we were lacking in midfield. So he was agreeing with what the journalists were saying, and we need work in the midfield. So let's see what this new midfield has to offer. Let's see if we will be crying out for Ravel Morrison once more, who, mind you, is still some way from getting back into this national team setup, if you were to ask me. But again, good to see Dujon Whisper Richards back in the national setup. Karai Anderson, I'm excited to see him personally. I don't know anything about the youngster, but I've heard that he has some quality. So let's see what he has in store. But overall, big game for the Jamaican team, a good game for the fans who want to see what our star players have to offer. And personally, I think Jamaica should come away 2-0 victors in this one. I'm curious to hear, though, what you, the viewers and subscribers, have to say. We want to stay away from the controversy as much as possible. The flight problems with CFAS, we won't speak too much on it. So I know it's one of those things where we want to hear more, and I trust Elite Sports will be providing more and more coverage on that one, maybe later today, maybe later on this week. But he will be providing follow-up details on that, asking for European style football when the results come competitively from coach is amazing. Well, we can agree, Demo. We can agree to disagree. I think European style football is a stretch from the Jamaican fans. But although the results are good, based on the quality of players that we have, I don't think we could actually ask for less. But again, Jamaica versus Grenada, probably a day from now. Yeah, roughly a day from now. So let's hear what you, the viewers and subscribers, have to say. And remember, big shout out to every one of the Reggae Boys YouTubers. Keep up the good work. I don't come on here as often as I'd like, but I stay in tune with the different channels who are out there and who are keeping the public informed, because again, people know are interested in what they know more about, and because of the coverage being presented by you, the YouTubers and the vloggers, that's how the masses know what's happening with Jamaican football, and that's how they are kept entertained and interested as well. So let's hope the next game that plays at the National Stadium will see a bigger turnout. And we're at the Canadian versus Reggae Girls game, and we saw what turnouts were supposed to be when you're playing international football. That meant something. So again, hopefully one day we can see that amount of support, or that level of support, coming out of Jamaican setup. Let's get back to the days when Jamaica and Jamaicans did everything to support their local team or their national team. So big up everybody. Again, remember, smash the like button, subscribe to Halftime TV, leave your views and your opinions in the comment section, and we can have a discussion on that. All right, big up on yourself. Have a wonderful day.